Welcome, everyone. I'm grateful you joined us. I ask Creator that your loved ones are and remain safe and well, and you find peace and encouragement during these unusual trying days. A huge thank you to everyone who dedicated time and talents to today's teach-in. I believe we'll all get through this if we work together. I'm BJ McManama, an organizer with the Indigenous Environmental Network, and Appalachia is my home. My children were born and raised here, and now my granddaughter. I love this land, all life within these mountains, human and non-human alike. I'm a descendant of the Seneca, the people of the Western Door. Along with the Seneca and other nations who shared these lands, our ancestors taught the newcomers how to survive here in this biologically and beautifully diverse region. And we all share that heritage, along with gratitude, reverence, and dependence on the biodiversity that remains, for now. Without these gifts provided freely by Mother Earth, clean, abundant water, pure, clean air, trees, plants, two, four-legged, finned, and winged, we can't survive. Today I'm going to share a very small portion of a film, Drumbeat for Mother Earth. It's a collaboration between IEN and Greenpeace and produced by Bullfrog Films in 1999. The film is a deep dive into how toxic chemicals, POPs, PCBs, dioxin, PFASs, and others that today, as was decades ago, continues to threaten all life on Mother Earth. Tragically, the details and lessons shared then are just as relevant today. From cradle to grave, these industries destroy human health, the natural cycles of birth, death, and renewal, and unless we can stop it all now, we all will share a grim future. I apologize I'm only able to show a small portion of this powerfully insightful film told through our Indigenous lens today. In the following clips, we see, as it was then, it is today. We are now held hostage by the fossil fuel, plastic, and chemical industries. And today, as we commemorate the 50th anniversary of the first Earth Day, plans for exponential expansion are taking place as we speak. Like our Indigenous relatives in the past, they were, and we are, being lied to, forced to accept widespread poisoning of our homelands, and how industry's playbook never changes. Tragically, over 20 years later, here we are. Later this year, at the 18th Protecting Mother Earth virtual gathering, IEN will present this film in its entirety, along with a live interactive discussion. You're all invited. I hope you'll be able to join us. Be well and safe. Nawain Scanal.
What has been the response, Pat or Tom, of the people who are actually producing POPs?
Our policy as the Chemical Manufacturers Association has been for persistent toxic and bioaccumulative substances that those are substances of concern. They merit prompt attention.
How do we get the industries to be accountable to the people? You know, we have a structure where corporations and the laws that allow corporations to operate are not accountable to the people. They have more rights, in fact, than we do as all humans. The whole policies around EPA developing environmental laws and policies is based upon risk assessment. I don't know how many of our tribal people know that. It's based upon how many, 1 out of 10 out of 100,000 are allowed to die ratios.
The first thing you do with a risk assessment is you decide how many people it's okay to kill. That's the first thing you do. You set your bag limit on citizens.
I think our record as the industry has been that you can manage risks appropriately, that you can manage chemicals.
These are real living people that are going to be killed by the process that you are putting in place. And it's hard to put a good face on that.
That's one of the tools. You use exposure assessments, hazard assessments, risk assessments.
This is intentional killing of large numbers of people. They know it's not safe. On the face of it, it's not safe to put toxic materials into a human community. But a risk assessment puts a lot of mathematical mumbo-jumbo onto that political decision and makes it appear to be safe.
Our goal as the industry is to promote the type of assessments and characterizations of risks of our substances, both in the community, in the communities in which our facilities are, and more broadly, so that these risks can be addressed and the appropriate risk management actions taken to minimize those risks.
That are killing our people. These are the ones that are initiating very strategic drive-bys in Congress. They're still allowing toxic pollution into our communities.
We've been an active participant on the international debates on persistent organic pollutants.
They've been very active. They've been sending a lot of their technical staff.
We've been actively working with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency on its own strategy involving persistent bioaccumulative and toxic substances.
Sending their attorneys, their policymakers.
And as in the past, we will work for reasonable public policy.
It's kind of a form of economic blackmail.
The chemical industry is in a funny position. At an individual level, if an individual chemical company has a problem because there's dioxin or PCBs that it's responsible for, it will deny that there's any problem at all. There's any proof there's any health associated with these pollutants, or the stone wall. But at the global scale, the trade associations, the chemical industries understand they can't just deny.
We believe that there are obviously deposition of some substances in remote regions is an issue of serious concern.
The nature of POCs makes them inherently unmanageable. They can't be POC. There is no effective way. Every effort to better manage and better control POCs will ultimately fail. If they're used, if they're produced, they enter the environment, they build up in the food chain. They don't disperse and become more dilute. They become concentrated in the food chain. They travel long distances. These are not substances that humankind is capable of properly managing and properly controlling. And therefore, elimination means a systematic policy to end their production, to end their use, to end the activities that generate them.
One thing that we have as Native peoples is we have a relationship to nature.